slight chance in the evening. See a high around 72. I'm meteorologist Kyle Clucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You're spending $300 a month. Binge drinking is the most common form of excessive drinking, which costs the United States more than $191 billion each year. By drinking less, you will save $300 a month. If you or a loved one is looking for help, find a treatment facility near you at findtreatment.gov. For immediate support, call, text, or chat 988.
Brought to you by Nebraska DHHS in partnership with SAMHSA.
This is Bree Fansteel, local race car driver. Join me and James Rowland every Sunday at 7 p.m. for The Finish Line, where we discuss off-road, on-road, and sometimes next-to-the-road racing on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you looking to get into the electrical construction industry or wanting a new scene? The electrical workers of local union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Do you need motivation to get to the gym on the weekend or even in general? Tune into the Movement Hour each Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m. Movement Academy owner Robert Kuhlman will host the show as he introduces new ways to stay in shape. The Movement Hour every Saturday morning from 10 to 11 a.m. on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Erick Strickland.
Strickland for three! And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Presented by NEBCO. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Welcome in a Tuesday edition of On the Block. Austin Norman and Erick Strickland. We'll be with you for the next couple hours here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Big thanks to NEBCO for sponsoring the show. Lots to get to on today's show, including, as Stricky alluded to, the Timberwolves. They're here. They've arrived.
Man.
Hour two, we'll talk some college football. One prominent national commentator has Nebraska in his preseason top 25. What's the rationale for that? What are some other teams? Who are some other teams from the Big Ten in that picture as well? And what does Nebraska need to do to be a top 25 team? Stricky and I will give the three things that we think are most important for Nebraska. But this first segment, before we get to any of that, and we'll play the shootout here in about 25 minutes or so. Champ is still in the building. Someone call in and take him down here in about 20 minutes. I'm tired of playing the music. Want to give $30 of Buffalo Wings and Rings away. But the news of the day, kind of neat news of the day, a Nebraska tie to the story. A former Major League Baseball player retiring from baseball to walk on at Arkansas football. That player, Monty Harrison, who was a four-star recruit about a decade ago, 2014, out of Lee Summit, was committed to Nebraska under Bo Pelini, would have played baseball at Nebraska as well, except Strick, he got drafted early in the Major League Baseball draft, decided to play baseball instead.
Second round.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Hard to turn that money down.
Yeah.
Drafted that high. Not an overly successful Major League Baseball career, but Stricky, can you imagine if you walked away from your NBA career at 28 to walk on and play college football?
Oh, well, I will say there was some thought about after leaving basketball, maybe going back and seeing what's good with baseball. But football's a lot, bro. Like,
yeah.
I don't know if
SEC
we
football
fully understand how, I laugh and giggle about it, but those 2 days that I went out, I think, like roughly 2 days, I think. 2 days that I went out for practice, for, the Husker practice and J&M, they tease and stuff. And look, my body was hurting. Like, and it wasn't even like full contact. I mean, it was some contact, but it wasn't full contact. But what I realized is, and I was in good shape too, because I was, coming off basketball. I was still in good shape, but you don't realize that you're using a whole bunch of different muscles than what you've been used to using. And so other muscles being activated, you're like, wait a minute. Your body's like, what's going on here? I don't know what's happening. This is not normal. Shoulder pads now, full gear, hot, calves barking, feet hurt. Yeah, nah. I don't envy him for it. It's gonna be whoo. Couldn't imagine at 28. I knew how I felt going into the gym at, approaching my 30s and, getting up after back-to-backs. And I couldn't imagine what it was like, especially coming off of baseball. And it's been very relaxing. And you're talking about, quick twitch muscles that you haven't used in a long time. You don't really use that as much in baseball. I mean, you do,
right.
Darting off for a ball that's hitting a gap, or obviously from first to second on a ball hit in the gap or down the line, yeah, there's some moments where you kind of got to get out there a little bit, and that's where people's hamstrings start pulling.
And that's a problem. He'll be 29 by the time the season starts, 33 if he uses all 4 years of eligibility that he has. Don't go anywhere. More on the block next here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
The following is a test of the emergency alert system.
Hi, it's Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and it's truck month at Koppel, and we want to sell them all. Choose between 0.9% APR or as much as $8,000 off list price. Yes, you heard right. That's 0.9% APR or as much as $8,000 off list on select new GMC and Chevrolet inventory. So please make that money-saving drive to Koppel in Louisville, or check us out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with approved credit, must trade and finance.
John Henry's has a brand new membership club to protect your entire home in one program. With a VIP and a deluxe option, we will help you find the plan that best fits your needs. Receive discounts on services and equipment, priority service, complimentary inspections, and so much more. Protect your home's plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical systems all in one membership. Call John Henry's to learn more.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
And electrical.
Hey, Husker Nation, Matt Davison here with 1890. It's an exciting time to be a Husker fan, and to keep that momentum going, we need your help. Nebraska has always been a leader in college athletics, and we're doing the same through name, image, and likeness. NIL is a unique opportunity for every Husker fan to have a direct impact on the success of our programs. Through 1890, 100% of your contribution goes to the student athletes. So go to 1890nebraska.com, choose your sport, become a member, and help the Huskers recruit and retain the best. Go Big Red.
Spring sports are here and it's time to upgrade your equipment. But don't go rushing to your big box store. Play It Again Sports is your place to go for all spring sports equipment for baseball, softball, golf, and disc golf. Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And don't forget, buying from them is a great way to get new products with great discounts by also bringing in your used items for store credit or cash on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
For over 15 years, Integrated Life Choices has empowered individuals with disabilities in Lincoln and throughout Nebraska. They provide comprehensive services from group homes and independent living services to job training, ensuring fulfilling lives for those that they serve. Now, they're inviting you to join their mission. If you're passionate about making a difference in the lives of people with developmental disabilities, explore rewarding career opportunities with them. Learn more about their services and apply today at www.ilc.net. Be a part of Integrated Life Choices, where your work truly changes lives.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Houses? They're expensive. And once you buy one, you're kind of stuck with it for a while. You need to make sure you get your best house for the best price. You need Ben Bleicher and his team of pros at Professional Realty Group. They'll take the time to figure out what's important for you in your dream home, and they have the expertise to find the hidden issues that could surprise you after the sale. That's professional knowledge, proactive service. We call that potential. Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's Home Service Ambassador. Find more online at prg-ne.com.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
You're spending $300 a month. Binge drinking is the most common form of excessive drinking, which costs the United States more than $191 billion each year. By drinking less, you will save $300 a month. If you or a loved one is looking for help, find a treatment facility near you at findtreatment.gov. For immediate support, call, text, or chat 988.
Brought to you by Nebraska DHHS in partnership with SAMHSA.
Sandhills Global is hiring. With their fast-paced, growing culture, they have hundreds of new openings in sales, marketing, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Full-time roles offer a 4.5-day work week, along with flexible internships in most areas. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Find your fit today at www.sandhills.jobs.
Early break with Sip and Jake.
You guys talk about songs that you love. Is there a song that you absolutely loathe in this world?
Oh, there is, and I can't think of them right now.
Just pick an Ozzy Osbourne song. I despise with all my being Benny and the Jets by Elton John. I hate that song. Jersey Mike's or Chick-fil-A.
Chick is good. Jersey Mike's, I'm going to say it'd be 90.
Come on.
90. Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket. Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back talking NBA here during On the Block. Austin Norman with the 9-year NBA vet, Husker Hall of Famer Erick Strickland to my left. You are right on the stream, brought to you by our friends at Sartor Heeman Jewelers, just down the block from us. They also sponsor our text line, 402-464-5685. Let's just start this conversation off on the YouTube stream. Wade, the Wolves embarrassing the Nuggets. Ain't that the truth? Game 1, okay. Ant said it. I'm here. I have work to do. They win by 7, but it's at home. You expect Denver to respond. Strick, Denver just rolled over last night.
Man, just absolutely laid down and just gave up the ghost. And to be at home, it just... Let me just say, Ant-Man is on a revenge tour. Like he's created mental fodder that I'm trying to give you and everybody at work. Now, obviously, everybody had to step up. Shout out Kat for stepping up and having a game. To go into someone's home that is down 0-1 already and to beat them by 26,
and it wasn't that close,
and defensively shut them down without, it's scary to shut them down without even their best defender, possibly as far as being a candidate for defensive player of the year, not even available to you. So your roster changes, and Karl Anthony Towns goes big, very efficient on 36 minutes. He makes up a lot of that slack. 3 for 5 from 3. I mean, he killed it and goes for 27. And Edwards, once again, pretty solid, pretty efficient. Didn't shoot a lot of free throws well. Didn't do a lot of other things ultimately well. But between him and Anderson, distributing the ball, and that's the difference, right? The difference is, this is playoff basketball. there are some things that a team is going to need and be required of you on a night-to-night basis. Then there are subtle adjustments that you're going to have to, in your mind, make that are mental notes. And then as you observe, so for example, a lot of what they did defensively was a lot of one-on-one. They allowed him to post. They allowed him, really wasn't a lot of double teams. And I'm just giving an example. I'm not giving it per this game. I'm just saying how, the playoff system works. You're going to need to be consistent in what you do well. If that's assists, if that's rebounding, if that's scoring, no matter how you do it, if you're averaging a certain amount of points, you don't ever want to come up short of that. So you want to either, okay, they're taking something away. I need to get to the free throw line more. Or I need to do something, but I need to be productive in this manner. Or something needs to be crazy in another area. So if, for example, I went for 30 something in the last game, in his case 40 plus, there's going to be adjustments made. You make mental notes on potentially things that they may do to you. As you watch the film, you're looking at, how did they play your pick and roll? Did they go under? Did they kind of do use the over and help, just kind of off ball help from Jokic? Are they going to blitz you? So you take mental note. Okay, I know they're not going to let me do this because I murked them. What are they going to do? Are they going to blitz me? Are they going to high hedge, meaning that they step out, allow space for the other guy to come through, and then you roll hard to get back? I would have done that, being that, you had only Karl Anthony Towns. I feel comfortable with a bump. He's mostly a perimeter guy. Yes, he does have inside, but that's what you do. You take those notes. Ant was still productive, pretty efficient, but he distributed the ball. You see what I'm saying? This is what allows you to kind of be different in the next game. So they got to figure out what they're going to do. Like, you want them consistently making adjustments. You're making mental notes, staying within your system. This is why the Bulls were so good for so long. This is why they were able to run, because they ran the same system, and out of the system, things presented themselves that maybe one night's going to be Harper, maybe another night it'll be Kukoc, but it's still within the system. Dennis Rodman's still going to be consistent in what he did. Michael Jordan's going to be consistent in what he's doing. And Scotty's going to give you highs, lows, and then consistency in defense and, certain areas. So that's what playoff basketball is like.
The part that stands out to me is that Minnesota looks ready for the moment, right?
Yeah,
Last year, you mentioned the revenge tour with the Nuggets eliminating them. The Wolves were the best defense in basketball in the regular season, and that's translated. I mean, Cleveland, Orlando, you can see maybe there's some defense there. Maybe it's just bad offense. Minnesota is playing legitimately great defense, 1 through 5, really 1 through 8 or 9.
Yeah.
Everyone that sees the floor is bought in on the defensive side of the ball. They are long, they are athletic, and they are committed to it, Strick.
Right.
So as much as I'm worried about Denver, I'm equally as excited, if not more excited, about what Minnesota's doing. Maybe they're starting a new template of, you might not have a Rudy Gobert. Can you find the next one? It's going to be hard to find the next Anthony Edwards. Can you find a lead guard? And then can you surround them with 3-and-D wings? They can do a little bit of everything, but know that their job is to lock up on D and knock down open shots after Ant goes to work. Minnesota and OKC kind of have that template built right now.
Absolutely. And this is why they're having success. We're going to see, more of that. Now, I think Dallas is close. It's sad to say that Boston is still in a wait and see.
Right.
New York is in a, this is new to us, but we know each other. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Like this isn't, we're not familiar with us making this, but we've known what runs like this look like. It's just at a different level.
Yeah.
So they know, that's a comfort in that, right? Indiana is still kind of like, well, we know what the big stage look like, but we haven't measured up, meaning they got to, the in season. So it's a big moment, but just not. So you've got
they know how
teams-
their style works against a division opponent in the Bucks. Right. They're still figuring out how to translate that across the NBA. Right.
So that's the dynamics that you have going on. What's surprising me is Minnesota right now. Like, I mean, I knew they were good. I knew they have something, but what they're doing in Denver right now is, I mean, I'm wide-eyed, bushy-tailed. Like, like what the heck is going on? It's crazy to see. Let's see how it pans out.
And now that,
so who would you see if because I mean they're in the driver, like they swept the first. They could literally sweep them. They got 2 games at home. But are they still kind of youthful exuberance? But if I'm them, I'm like, I'm not giving these cats a sniff of a chance.
Right.
Let's go get these 2 games. Like I'm having real candid conversations. If I'm the coach, if I'm leadership, if I'm Ant, with my teammates, I'm like, yo, they ain't getting out of here without going home with a broomstick. Like that's the mentality they need to have.
And don't forget that Chris Finch is out still. He got hurt at the end of that series against the Suns, so it's an assistant that's been at the reins right now. I want to throw this out to you, Strick. I think Denver gets at least a game, right? They're the defending champs. I think there's enough moxie in there. Jokic will go nuts. Murray won't go 3 for 18 again, which what a bad look for him throwing the heat pack on the floor. That's another testament to Minnesota. They frustrated Denver. Jokic is unflappable. Murray's calm, cool, collected. Malone has some fire, but has generally held it together in big moments. That didn't happen last night, but I came across this. Would you believe it if I told you that with Nikola Jokic, the Nuggets have not won a playoff series against a team that won more than 50 games in the regular season?
Say that again?
With Nikola Jokic.
With him or without him?
With him.
Okay.
During his time in Denver, Nikola Jokic's Denver Nuggets have not won a series in the playoffs against a team that won 50 games in the regular season.
Wow.
2018-19, they beat the 48-win Spurs, lose to the 53-win Trailblazers. 2019-20, beat the 44-win Jazz, the 49-win Clippers, lose to the 52-win Lakers in the bubble year. 2020-21 season, beat the 42-win Trailblazers, lose to the 51-win Suns in the playoffs. 21-22, lose to the 53-win Warriors in the first round. Last year, their run to the title, they beat the 42-win Timberwolves, 43-win Lakers, 45-win Suns, and then the 44-win Heat. Denver, we've applauded them. I don't think that Denver's a bad team. I don't think they lucked their way into a championship. But I think what we're seeing is, hey, Denver was never unassailable. They might have gotten a slightly easier path. It doesn't change the fact that Jokic is the best player in basketball right now. But it starts to make you wonder, what's actually going on with Denver?
That's great. That's great stats that you just brought up right there. You're right. Minnesota fits that mode right now. And they really can't blame it on injuries. No. Like you can't have the series that you had against the Lakers and you got through it and then try to throw it on something else. I don't think they'll make excuses. They're not, like LeBum and the Lakers. But they're one of these teams that I think you're right. They have moxie. I just don't think they have enough to turn it around being down 2.
Not the way
that's not how they normally that's not how they normally operate. They like to operate from
ahead.
From ahead. That's where they play because they have a style that really fits that. But here's what I do love. I love that it's Minnesota because I love that he's going to the Olympics. I love that this is raising his star, and a star is being born right before our eyes when the NBA needs it
desperately.
When they need a shift, and he's raising that.
Well, and he's doing,
and he's bringing it back that dog.
Yeah,
like that in your face. I don't care who you are from night to night. None of y'all are my friends. I'm gonna hold my teammates accountable. Like. He's doing it in every facet and every way.
And he's doing it against the guy that probably should have won 3 MVPs in a row in Nikola Jokic, right? Not taking the torch from him by any means, but saying, hey, I'm here. To be the one that knocks out the defending champs, to be a part of the team that flummoxes them, makes them look flustered and confused, right? That's been Denver's thing. The poise, the buzzer beaters against the Lakers. Denver's calm, cool, collected. They just go about their
Even
business.
being
They're a
down.
machine,
Yeah.
even when they're down.
Yeah.
Minnesota has made Denver come unraveled through 2 games, and we're not used to seeing this.
Right.
From really any champion, but especially not a team that looks and seems so unflappable like Denver did until now.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm still interested in what's going on. I'm still interested in certain matchups. I don't know if Dallas is able to come through, that they have an answer.
I don't hate it.
And I think the better matchup is going to be OKC. I wouldn't hate it, but I think matchup wise, I think that's probably a little bit more of a good matchup. I think it's young guns and young talent facing off with Shea and obviously Chet. You know, the front court work. If Rudy gets back healthy, Towns, like who do they have that can handle the twin,
right?
You know, size of them. You know, and I think if I'm correct, let me see. Who split that series? I want to say Minnesota won that series, but let me look. We're looking at the West, and we're going to look at Minnesota.
Yeah, they played twice. Minnesota won on January 29th, 107-101, and the Thunder won 102-97 January 20th.
So there was a split there. So yeah, I mean, I think that's going to be it's going to be good. It's going to be a good matchup if that can happen. But I'm interested in the style matchup that's about to happen. You know, who's going to guard Shea?
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to probably throw maybe Hardaway or somebody on him.
Lou Dort on Luka.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I love the matchup. Lou Dort's got a good body. He's got a good body to measure up with Luka.
Chet and Rudy, old school versus new school.
Who got Kyrie?
Who got Kyrie?
That's something to think about.
Jalen Williams, who guards him?
Yeah. If I'm them, I'm trying to get them in foul trouble. I want Josh Giddey in the game.
Yeah, I think you're on something.
I'm attacking. I want them in foul trouble. I want them wore out. We're running, but I would prefer him to be in the game than any other combinations that they're going to throw.
Right. The other series that starts tonight, Cavaliers and Celtics. This feels a little bit like Cavs Warriors back in the day to me, where it's going to be a superhuman performance from Donovan Mitchell against the closest thing to a super team this year in the NBA. Cleveland has size on Boston, even with, I think, Jarrett Allen's been out a little bit, but Porzingis isn't back yet. To me, Evan Mobley is the key for this series. If he can dominate Horford and the rest of the backup bigs for Boston, and then Spida goes off for 35 or 40, that's Cleveland's only path to me, Strick.
You think so?
That's where I'm at with this series. Tatum's going to go nuts.
Yeah, I think Boston comes out of this pretty much unscathed unless they, I think depth, support, White's playing like an all-star right now. Like if he continues that, there's nothing they can do. The key in that series is Porzingis. How healthy is he? Because it kind of tweaked something.
He and Giannis had the same injury.
You see what I'm saying? So I'm not going to lie to you. It's going to look the same if he doesn't get back. You know what I mean? Like you're going to have to rely on Tatum, who at times but he settles. Are you confident in an attacking Jaylen Brown? I think he's worked on it. I think he's worked on it. You've got to rely so much on the perimeter. I don't think those guys post up enough. They do attack. He get into mid ranges, but they don't really do it to where you can cause mismatches and things to be created so that you can make your offense run a little bit and find guys for a little bit easier opportunities. They seem to have they seem to get caught in situations where their half court is one-on-one, a lot of isolation.
your turn, my turn.
Yeah. And I'm long term, that doesn't work, Austin.
And we've seen that for
We've
Boston.
seen it.
That's why
We've
they
seen
flamed
it.
out.
Yes. And any team that does, this is why the Phoenix Suns won't have success, because that's what they do. You got 3 ISO Joes, Booker, Durant, and Beal. They're ISO Joe guys. So, you're not going to get any success out of that. That model does not work.
No.
Long term.
Right.
So
might work in the regular season.
Yeah.
Might.
Maybe.
But that's why Phoenix got swept.
Facts.
How about that? How about this? You get a chance to beat Strick right now. $30 to Buffalo Wings and Rings on the line. The champ is sitting there in the hot seat. We're playing the shootout with Strick. 402-464-5685. It will be NBA topics, NBA playoffs related. And then we'll switch gears to college football in hour 2 of the show. Again, the number is 402-464-5685. 4 questions for Strick, then 4 questions for you. $30 to Buffalo Wings and Rings. Help yourself to their honey wings are still there. Honey barbecue are still there. I know they teased that they were going away, but hey, they're still around. So if you win, you get them on us. Call now. Play the game next.
It's the Elway Power Sports Customer Expo, May 10th and 11th. There will be giveaways and free food, half-price tires, and factory rebates as large as $2,500. Used inventory price to sell, parts and accessory specials too. Register for the John Elway football giveaway and get a chance in the money machine with a new vehicle purchase. Factory and aftermarket reps will be on site for the event. The Customer Expo at Elway Power Sports, May 10th and 11th, just south of I-80 on 27th Street. Erick Services takes this time to wish all the moms out there a happy Mother's Day. They hope that everyone is able to show how much they care for and respect the moms in their life for this weekend especially, but in everyday life too. This important message comes to you from Bart and the folks at Erick Services, your vending specialists here in Lincoln. Their quality service and expertise has earned them a fine reputation. That's Erick Services, on the air because they care. Supernovas host their final regular season home game this Thursday, May 9th, versus the Columbus Fury at CHI Health Center in Omaha. The Mullen Motors pregame show with Derek Pearson and Renee Saunders starts at 6 p.m. with first serve at 7. Make sure to tune in to the next Ag Appraisal and Realty postgame show right after the match ends. Catch all the action on your flagship station, 93.7 The Ticket, and statewide on the Supernovas Radio Network.
Sick of being upsold at gyms?
My guy, you're currently a base member. For $90 more, I can upgrade you to our Shred membership. For $130 more, you'll be a Swole member. And for just $300 more, you'll reach Sweat Platinum.
At Planet Fitness, you'll get energy without the upsell. Never pushy, always free fitness training and equipment for every workout. It's fitness that fits your budget. Join Planet Fitness for just $1 down and $10 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends Friday, May 10th. See Home Club for details.
Hey there, fellas. It's your girl Jordan with Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Women may be complicated, but I make sure buying jewelry isn't. Your gal has a style, and you can figure this out. Is she more of a classic necklace kind of gal, or does she rock the boho chic vibe with layers of delicate bracelets? This is crucial intel. Not trusting your intel? Stop in the store and we'll sort out the details. I promise to make this super easy. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
Liberty Law Group is committed to the defense of your liberty in pursuit of your justice for those that have been injured. My name is Matt Knight, attorney with Liberty Law Group. If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, call 877-42-LIBERTY. Our relentless trial attorneys are committed to the highest quality legal representation. At Liberty Law Group, we will fight for you. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Once again, that's 877-42-LIBERTY.
Spring Sports are here and it's time to upgrade your equipment. But don't go rushing to your big box store. Play It Again Sports is your place to go for all spring sports equipment for baseball, softball, golf, and disc golf. Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And don't forget, buying from them is a great way to get new products with great discounts by also bringing in your used items for store credit or cash on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Several irrigation contractors in Lincoln go out of business every year, leaving sprinkler system orphans begging for service. The folks at Judson Irrigation shed a tear for these little fellas. They've been coddling these orphans for more than 40 years. From redesign, repairing, replacing, and restoring, remember the Judson Irrigation Orphanage.
Call the Judson Irrigation Orphanage 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, some spotty showers possible. Otherwise, mainly sunny and breezy. The high around 74. Tonight, a chance of showers rolls in. See a low around 49. And tomorrow, we'll see mainly sunny skies return. Another slight chance in the evening. See a high around 72. I'm meteorologist Kyle Clucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Celebrate the moms or special women in your life with the perfect gift from Riddle's Jewelry. Save up to 30% on our sparkling selection of diamond, gemstone, and gold jewelry. Riddle's makes gift giving easy. Find the perfect pair of matching items totaling $500 or more, and you'll receive a free jewelry case as our gift to you. Riddle's Jewelry, for life's special moments since 1959.
Located inside Gateway Mall. Are you looking to get into the electrical construction industry or wanting a new scene? The electrical workers of local union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today. For over 15 years, Integrated Life Choices has empowered individuals with disabilities in Lincoln and throughout Nebraska. They provide comprehensive services from group homes and independent living services to job training, ensuring fulfilling lives for those that they serve. Now, they're inviting you to join their mission. If you are passionate about making a difference in the lives of people with developmental disabilities, explore rewarding career opportunities with them. Learn more about their services and apply today at www.ilc.net. Be a part of Integrated Life Choices, where your work truly changes lives.
It's time to play Shootout with Strick. Call now, 464-5685, to take your shot against Erick Strickland. Shootout with Strick. Brought to you by Buffalo Wings and Rings.
Time to play the game!
We go to the Honda of Lincoln hotline. We welcome in Dave. Dave, how are you this afternoon?
Oh, I'm ready to roll.
Good deal. Glad to hear it. I did warn you ahead of time. This is NBA playoffs related. You still good to go?
Imagine that. What a coincidence.
I tried to warn you. You still called. It's fair game.
Sure.
All right.
Go ahead.
See here. Let's get Stricky's questions in first, like we usually do. Strick, your round of the shootout starts here in 3, 2, and 1. He leads the NBA playoffs in rebounds per game. Anthony Davis or Jarrett Allen?
Anthony Davis.
Yep. He leads the NBA playoffs in steals per game. LeBron James or Kentavious Caldwell-Pope?
Pope.
It's LeBron. He's played the most minutes in this year's NBA playoffs. Josh Hart or Dante DiVincenzo?
Hart.
Yep, and they allow the fewest points per game this postseason.
Minnesota.
A good guess. It is in the West. It is not Minnesota. Oklahoma City. Dang it. Oklahoma City, the best defense in the NBA playoffs so far. All right, Dave, 2 to tie, 3 or more to win. Are you ready for your round?
Well, I'm leaving on Thursday for vacation, so it'd really be nice to have something to eat for Wednesday. So just make them easy.
They're already written. I can't change them, so we'll see how you fare here. Your round starts in 3, 2, and 1. He leads the NBA playoffs in points per game. Jalen Brunson or Joel Embiid?
Brunson.
Yep. He leads the NBA playoffs in assists per game. Luka Doncic or Tyrese Halliburton?
Halliburton.
It's Doncic. He leads the NBA playoffs in made threes per game. Derek White or Dame Lillard?
Willis.
Yep. And they average the most points per game as a team this postseason.
Golden State.
Golden State is incorrect. Again, it is in the West, but Minnesota is actually scoring the most points per game as a team. So with that, we go to a tiebreaker.
But what was the one he said?
He said Lillard.
Oh, he said Lillard?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't step in here.
All right. Over, under. Dave, you will say over or under or push. Strick's answer if you think it's a push. So Strick will give a number. Here's the question, Strick. How many points per game are the Minnesota Timberwolves averaging this postseason?
Damn.
How many points per game are the Minnesota Timberwolves averaging this postseason?
One 13.
Stricky says 113. Dave, over or under 113 points for the win?
This is just the playoffs, right?
Just the playoffs. Over or under 113 during the playoffs?
Let's try over.
Boom shakalaka!
Dang it!
Give me a hell yeah! I said give me a hell yeah!
I was going to say 120.
Try 114.
You gotta be kidding me!
114.2.
I almost said that!
Yeah!
Dave, you get your wings and rings. Stop on
There's
down by
no
the station to pick it up.
way!
Thank them.
Way to go, Dave. You are back on the board. Stricky, 1 point away, my man.
I was going to say 214. And then I got in my head thinking Friday the 13th, or I just wanted to. And man, if I would have just said my first mind, I would have hit it on the dot.
114.2.
Somebody finally got it. It's all right. Deservingly so. Shout out to Big Dave.
That was a good game.
Good game.
Back and forth. Dave, stop by the station, pick up your wings and rings. And before you go on vacation, right? Head down soon. Get it for tomorrow. We'll take a break. When we get back, we'll switch gears to college football. One prominent national analyst has Nebraska football in his top 25. We will go over that top 25 to start the hour. And then the second segment will be, what does Nebraska need to do? What are the three main stats that we'll be watching this year if Nebraska is going to turn into a top 25 football team? We want your thoughts as well. 402-464-5685. What are the three numbers, the three areas you'll be tracking if Nebraska is going to turn into a top 25 unit? For Strick, I'm Austin. Don't go anywhere. Hour 2 of On the Block comes your way momentarily.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
There are over 1,000 kids in Cedars care today. We're here to ensure that each of them receives safety and stability they deserve. But we need your help. A gift to Cedars will make an immediate impact on Lincoln's kids. And on Give to Lincoln Day, your gift goes even further with the available matching funds. I'm Jim Blue, president of the Cedars organization, and I'm asking you to go to givetolincolnday.com to make your gift to Cedars and support Lincoln kids today.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
John Henry's has a brand new membership club to protect your entire home in one program. With a VIP and a deluxe option, we will help you find the plan that best fits your needs. Receive discounts on services and equipment, priority service, complimentary inspections, and so much more. Protect your home's plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical systems all in one membership. Call John Henry's to learn more.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
And electrical.
Sandhills Global is hiring. With their fast-paced, growing culture, they have hundreds of new openings in sales, marketing, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Full-time roles offer a 4.5-day work week, along with flexible internships in most areas. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Find your fit today at www.sandhills.jobs.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Hi, it's Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and it's Truck Month at Koppel, and we want to sell them all. Choose between 0.9% APR or as much as $8,000 off list price. Yes, you heard right. That's 0.9% APR or as much as $8,000 off list on select new GMC and Chevrolet inventory. So please make that money-saving drive to Koppel in Louisville or check us out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with approved credit must trade and finance.
High schoolers, unleash your creativity and learn about potential careers in broadcasting at the Digital Expressions Media Camp. Have fun, make friends, and get hands-on experience with video and radio production June 9th through the 14th at the University of Nebraska at Kearney. Scholarships are available from the Nebraska Broadcasters Association, and spots are limited. Learn more at digitalexpressionscamp.com. That's digitalexpressionscamp.com.
Early break with Sip and Jake.
You guys talk about songs that you love. Is there a song that you absolutely loathe in this world?
Oh, there is, and I can't think of them right now.
Just pick an Ozzy Osbourne song. I despise with all my being Benny and the Jets by Elton John. I hate that song. Jersey Mike's or Chick-fil-A.
Chick is good. Jersey Mike's, I'm going to say it'd be 90.
Come on.
90. Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket.
Are you looking to get into the electrical construction industry or wanting a new scene? The electrical workers of local union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Spring sports are here and it's time to upgrade your equipment. But don't go rushing to your big box store. Play It Again Sports is your place to go for all spring sports equipment for baseball, softball, golf, and disc golf. Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And don't forget, buying from them is a great way to get new products with great discounts by also bringing in your used items for store credit or cash on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
This is area race announcer James Rowland. Join me and Bree Fansteel every Sunday night from 7 to 8 on 93.7 The Ticket for the Finish Line, where we cover all things motorsports from local racing to racing around the world. Every Sunday night from 7 to 8 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Erick Strickland.
Strickland for three! And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Presented by NIPCO. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Welcome back to On the Block. E. Strick here and Austin Orman. It is Taco Tuesday. And it is a great day to be here in studio with my partner, Austin Orman, On the Block. We're in the second hour. And we welcome all listeners in, those who are listening by way of podcast on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, X, and also on Allo Channel 961. We appreciate you as we get a chance to look at our faces there on those podcasts as well as on TV. And if you're listening to us on the radio, 93.7 The Ticket. And you can call in at 402-464-5685 is if you want to join into the conversation. But what we're going to talk about right now is a little bit of college football. Now that spring games are completed, now that You know, that part of the active part of college football in the spring. Transfer portal's about to get lit back up again. I'm assuming some have already.
The window's closed. We got to wait till fall.
We got to wait till fall
or
now.
summer,
but
so we're good.
You know, people jumped in quickly as they could after the fact, and now, you know, it's just going to be kind of baseball. And I'm sure you're happy about that. That's why you got on your gear right now. But Joe Klatt, the Joe Klatt Show, at Joe Klatt Show, we picked up a tweet from him, and he puts out his post-spring top 25. And it's interesting. There's some things you may notice there. Out of the 25, something that is remarkable, to say the least, is that you find a university with red cream.
Utah.
Yeah, not that one.
Alabama.
A little bit more crimson.
Ohio State.
You know, they got some gray in it.
What about Georgia?
Georgia's a bulldog.
Okay. Texas A&M.
A little too dark.
USC.
No, they're garbage.
Oklahoma.
Boomer Sooner, no.
Florida State.
No. No, that don't even sound right.
It's got to be Ole Miss.
It is not Ole Miss, but it is the University of Nebraska.
Jeez.
They popped into Joe Klatt's post-spring top 25. Can you guess where? If you can guess where, do we have something to give away?
Yeah, we can give $10 to the mill.
We'll give $10 to the mill. If you can guess where Joe Klatt stashed the University of Nebraska, 402-464-5685, or on the stream, you can also plug that number. Where in the top 25 does he have them? He does have them in there, which is blowing my mind and blowing a lot of people's mind. We'll talk about those who are in there as well at some point. But what's your initial take on the Huskers popping into Joe Klatt's top 25?
Let's actually hear what Joel Klatt has to say.
Oh,
you know, he on his show has a podcast about this. So let's hear what Joel Klatt had to say about Nebraska, and then we'll give our takes on what he has to say.
I think Nebraska is going to be a pretty darn good football team. They won 5 games a year ago in year number 1 for Matt Rule, and yet they should have been a lot better. Their defense was a top 20 defense in the country, scoring and yards. And granted, you could say that about a lot of Big Ten West teams, but those were the numbers. They lost 4 games by exactly 3 points. And in those games, they had 15 turnovers. Folks, 15 turnovers. 13 of those 15 were by the quarterbacks. They were minus 17 in the turnover margin last year, which was the second worst in the country. So they won 5 and they lost 4, all by exactly 3 points with those turnover numbers. It does not take a rocket scientist to know that if Dylan Raiola is just a little bit better at quarterback, which I think he can be, in particular from a turnover standpoint, this could easily be a team that wins 8 or 9 football games. Nebraska is a good program, and I think Matt Rule is a heck of a coach. He's worked everywhere that he's been. Temple, Baylor. They don't have to play Oregon. They don't have to play Michigan, and they don't have to play Penn State. To me, they could be 7-0 headed into that Ohio State game. I think their toughest game before that game is probably Colorado. We'll see if they can beat Colorado, and that's in the eighth game of the year, that Ohio State game. I think Nebraska is an interesting one. They could wind up a lot higher than this. Watch out for Nebraska.
Hype train's back rolling, Stricky.
But I don't disagree. I mean, he's not saying anything that's not illogical.
No, he's not.
Right? He's actually. I mean, it just makes sense. We were sitting here talking about just how on the cusp the University of Nebraska was by doing something great, magnanimous in their first year of Rule, that I would have to agree that a play here or there, a not turnover there, a score when you're in the red zone, and I'm talking about didn't even have to be a 7 points or 6 points. Didn't have to be a touchdown. You could have just got a couple of those instances will feel literally you're on the 2. In some instances inside the 5, and you're throwing stick routes, and you you have a guy open, but you throw it to the wrong guy and it's an interception. I mean, that's what was going on in a lot of cases. Or you're just driving to maintain, you're moving, and then a running back fumbles. Like, it's the craziest thing that I've noticed. And that's what he said, Joe Klatt said in this last interview. And if you missed it, you can just rewind it, go back on the streams and just rewind it to around the 2 hour and 10-minute mark or so. But listen, Austin, he said that if Dylan Raiola just does a little bit more than what the previous quarterback,
the rotation of them, all
Apple
three of
turnover Mills, and Harburg with just some adjustments that he's made. He's looking a lot better. You can tell that there's development in their pedigree, in their DNA of a program. There's that. But what I also see is retention. They retained a lot of guys, didn't lose a huge. They're gonna have to. I mean, it's gonna happen. But I'm talking about key players. Not a whole bunch of them exited.
Right.
So you added some good pieces. Think you've created the depth that you were hoping to do. And now you've got a quarterback that you feel is being challenged, not just given over to him. He's having to work for it.
Important.
And I think it's a great recipe for what he's saying. I think the schedule is set up for them to, at worst, maybe lose one game, maybe two. If you're playing just on par to what you did last year, especially on the defensive side of things,
right?
If you're able to create more turnovers, minimize turnovers, I think you have enough. I think you have enough with what you have, to face. Like you said, you don't have to face Penn State, you don't have to face Oregon. You got to face down or Michigan. You got to face a down Washington. You've got to face
Washington's off the schedule.
Not them. Who is it?
It's UCLA and USC.
Oh, that's
that Nebraska
two.
gets.
Right.
And
then
at Ohio State.
They're having to get a whole new quarterback. So there's still some uncertainty there at what USC is going to. Their defense is still very porous. And then UCLA has lost staff. Got to do a revamp. So why not?
To me, it's setting up for Nebraska football a lot like it was setting up for Nebraska men's basketball with the runway.
Yeah.
Right. And then we'll see what this team can be. Do I think that Nebraska football goes on the road and knocks off Ohio State in game 8 of the year? I don't. But what if? Right? What if it's a team that's 7-0? What if it's a team that's figured itself out? And you at least put yourself in that conversation. I want to go point by point through what you and Klatt were saying here real quick.
Can I just ask you before you go point by point? Can I just ask you that? And can I ask the listeners 402-464-5685? If that happens, look, I'm not drinking Kool-Aid, and I'm just saying hypothetically, what would Lincoln look like if Nebraska is 8-0 after coming back from beating Ohio State in the shoe? Now,
y'all better be packing this place on Monday.
Right? But a young program, that's where I think, like, the runway to that point is tough. And we've seen that before because before, what was it? Before Frost, I think.
2016, right? Where they 7-0 going to Wisconsin.
Right. And got blown out.
No, they lost in overtime. And then Ohio State
was the blowout when they came here.
Wisconsin.
Okay, that's what it was. So, yeah, that it just went down. But what if? Like, what would Lincoln look like if volleyball is rolling at that point, basketball's gearing up on both sides, and football is riding? Like, that's where the crossroads hit.
Yeah.
Are you going to start smelling yourself? Talk to me now. That's where you're able to find out what a team is truly about. That's what I wanted to ask you. But what is it? What do you think it looks like?
I think we would learn a lot about Dylan Raiola at that point because you know how many headlines he would be getting. Right. I think you would learn the personality of the receivers in some ways, because I'm sure some of them would have put up big numbers in a game like that. You'd learn a lot about the upperclassmen experienced defensive line. This is why they came back Or if they get that signature win, is that, okay, we did what we came here to do. I'm good. There's a lot you could learn from that. This town would be on fire. It doesn't even begin to describe it. It would be nuts to levels we haven't seen in forever.
Yeah,
If Nebraska is
time.
8-0 after Ohio State, it would be insane. But how does Nebraska get there? The defense is going to be a big part of it. You mentioned not a lot of key departures necessarily. Quentin Newsome gone, Omar Brown gone, and you're down both linebackers. But you only really had one of them available at any given point in Nick Henrich and Luke Reimer. Those guys are by far the biggest losses. So it's on Tony White to, get those guys ready to play. Dvorak, the linebackers coach, Cooper in the secondary. What does Malcolm Hartzog look like at safety as opposed to corner? Is Bly Hill back in playing cornerback? We'll see. It's going to be a tall task for Nebraska to be a top 20 defense again. I think it's doable, but it's going to start up front, right? With Hutmaker and Robinson, especially. What do Cam Lenhart and Prince will look like in their second years in the program? The biggest questions for me on defense is the linebackers, Strick. John Bullock is fine, I guess, but I'm not super confident in him. And then we'll see who else steps up, whether it's at the jack position or alongside Bullock there. Maybe Nebraska's a top 20 defense again. I'm going to lower my expectations a little and say top 30 with a year of film out there, working some new pieces in the middle.
Yeah.
I'm not sure Nebraska's rush defense is going to be quite as good as it was last year, but as good as the defense was last year, there's room to improve, right? Let's say Ty and Nash take another step forward. Let's say Hartzog's a really good safety. Let's say Tommy Hill is an NFL, day 2 draft pick at corner. Those are building blocks. You can use those. And then we get to the offense. Losing games by 3 points, 4 of them, and you have 15 turnovers in those games, almost 4 turnovers per game you lose by 3 points. That's insane. How does that happen? Right. Joel Klatt's right. It shouldn't take a rocket scientist. Just turn the ball over less and you're fine. How many straight years have we asked Nebraska to turn the ball over less?
Yeah. I would have to say at least the last 3 to 4.
I would say the entirety of Frost's tenure.
Yeah.
Key turnovers doomed him. Even the last year, Riley to some degree.
Yeah.
It's been a while since Nebraska's had a positive turnover differential. So either the defense needs to create more or the offense needs to turn it over less, and preferably both, right? Dylan Raiola looked good. Let's see what he looks like against someone else not Nebraska, against an actual exotic defense that's trying to trick him. Matt Rule said during spring ball that, hey, we're still struggling to get off of press coverage. Guess what? Nebraska doesn't do a lot of that. They play off. They play soft. They haven't seen a lot of press coverage. What happens when they face it in a game? They're jammed at the line and timing's thrown off. What goes from there? The biggest determining factor to me, though, Strick, is Nebraska needs to get at least 1,200, if not closer to 1,500 yards rushing out of running backs. Take Hunter Carberg and his legs out of the equation for this. Whoever it is at the running back position, sure, if you want to throw one guy in there, if it's Emmett Johnson with, 900 or 1,000, and then Dante Dowdell adds another 500 to 600 as his backup, or both of those guys are around 600 to 750, that's fine. Whatever you get from Gabe Irvin or Amir Johnson, Quentin Ives is just gravy to me. Nebraska needs desperately a traditional run game.
Mm-hmm.
It can't survive the season without one.
Yeah.
You have to establish that in the first month of the year. I really think you do. UTEP, you should be able to push around with a pretty veteran offensive line. Northern Iowa, you should be able to push around with a pretty veteran offensive line. Colorado last year wasn't that stout against the run.
Right.
But Nebraska had to play from behind. They got away from it because of the turnovers.
Right.
So the hope is you're able to run the ball in those first 3 games to take some pressure off of starting quarterback's plate. Again, we can assume it's going to be Dylan Raiola, but until he's actually out there, we don't know for sure. Because then that means easier throws for the quarterback. It means that the defense is rested, has a chance to recuperate, regather, and come together. Defense did a good job last year. The next step might come from being better rested, from being put in better positions. Better depth, not having your back against the wall because of turnovers.
Yeah.
There's a lot of factors there, and Joel Klatt is not wrong in anything he's saying. But we've been saying the same things for Nebraska football for a long time now. So it's on this year's team to prove that something will be different and legitimately actually crack the top 25.
Yeah. So one of the things that you do see is it's very, very Power 2 conference with the addition of a few ACC and then a few Big 12. That's pretty much what you're seeing here. Obviously, Ohio State, he has number 1, Georgia 2. Going down to the bottom, which is a surprise for me still, is Texas A&M. I mean, is Texas A&M one of the most beneficial programs of just your name?
Probably.
Because it just seems like every year they thrust them in only to find them being way worse than mid-tier SEC schools.
Right.
So that's not a surprise that they're doing that. Another one that finds their way up there, but they've continuously over the last eight years or so relied on the defense, and that's Iowa. The surprises for me, and that's at 24. The surprises for me is Missouri at 10. Like, yes, I know but sometimes to me, Missouri is part of the one-off crew. You know what I mean?
Not the 2 Live crew?
Not the 2 Live crew. Part of the one-off crew.
Okay.
And what I mean by the one-off crew is that they may have one of those great seasons, beneficiary of some great timing, schedule works to their favor, and then you win a big game or so and get confidence and end up doing something. Another surprise is just above them at 5. I mean, as far as, the leapfrog. Ole Miss. Like, I understand Lane Kiffin, and I get it. I understand. But he hasn't shown me yet that he can break that high in the mix. I don't know. There's still a lot that I need to see from Lane Kiffin, because he hasn't seen. He's to me, Lane Kiffin is the Penn State of SEC in a way.
Ooh. I see where you're coming from with that.
Talk to me.
Yeah. Ole Miss lost Quinshon Judkins to the portal. He goes to Ohio State, who Joel Klatt has number 1, and I'm in lockstep with him there. Ohio State should be really good. Georgia, maybe not the top end talent that we know of quite yet, but they're deep. They should have
quarterbacks coming back. That's always a plus.
Texas at 3. We'll see how they survive that transition to the SEC. We looked at their schedule before. It's manageable enough. Obviously, it's a talented team. Texas has a lot to prove. They finally made it to the college football playoff last year. Can they do it back-to-back years? Probably easier since it's a 12 team. Oregon's going to be really good. And then Ole Miss is really that first true surprise to me there at 5 as well. Quarterbacks, multiple, returning. Lane's a good coach. I think they've gotten faster. They've gotten more athletic. I think Lane is pretty darn good schematically, all things considered. Do you trust them more than you trust Alabama, even with a new coach?
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know if you're just going off stability, but I would say if I'm Alabama or if I'm Michigan, I'm glad I'm sitting where I'm sitting.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Behind Utah.
Right.
How about that, Stricky?
Yeah.
Utah at 6, according to Joel Klatt. I am a Utah appreciator. Cam Rising is back after being hurt a couple times, but holy cow. I think Utah's fringe top 25, not number 6 in the country.
Right.
My gosh.
Right. Question then comes from me to you and to the listeners. Is this a year for Penn State? Or are we going to see the same rigmarole?
I thought it was last year for Penn State. I was on the Penn State train last year. I thought Aller was going to take a leap. I think their 2-headed running back duo was going to be, good. They just didn't have a receiver step up. And Aller wasn't as promised, right? He wasn't as advertised. I am not buying Michigan this year. I'm not. I think there's so much going on with that program, so many holes to fill. I know they're the defending champs. I know they've had Ohio State's number, but I am not confident about Michigan in the top 10 at all. Probably top 25, good. I mean, I can be talked into that, but if you're telling me Michigan is the 8th best team in the country, I'm not so sold on it. I think Penn State's pretty comfortably better than them. I think I trust Missouri a little bit more, even Notre Dame. So I would have Michigan down in that Florida State, Clemson, LSU range of talented with questions.
I'm still not sold on Clemson yet.
Talk to me.
I can understand. I know Dabo and the crew, they're good and they got a great program. And I guess because of the conference hasn't really shown a dominant factor. So to have Florida State at 12, Clemson at 13, kind of in the middle of the pack, I get it. That it leaves room for them to break through and just, surge. Another surprise that only I think gets the benefit of the team name is Miami.
Yeah.
Which are all part of that same grouping. But go ahead.
They are. The ACC is in a weird spot. There's no definitive favorite, right? Florida State lost a lot, including Jordan Travis. Clemson didn't add a difference maker on offense in the transfer portal because Dabo refuses to. Clemson and Iowa are very similar. I think Clemson's quarterback is better, but Klubnik's got to prove it. But his head coach is putting a lot on his shoulders by not going out and getting him much help. I don't understand that from Dabo at all. If it works,
the non-transfer
right
portal king.
Right. If it works, congrats, Dabo. You did it. You proved us all wrong. But you can make your life easier. It's not a cop-out, right? It's not peer pressure. This is the way things work now. I don't understand that. And then Miami, talented, but Mario Cristobal forgot how to kneel and lost the game last year. I got Georgia Tech. Just take the knee and win the game.
Right.
He doesn't do that. So I still have
You
questions
play
about him
to win the game.
And he did. A lot of questions on Miami. LSU and Clemson are opposites. I think if you took LSU's offense, even without Jaden Daniels, and Clemson's defense, that's a top 5 team in the country. Both Tigers, so maybe you can make it work, but probably not. USC, I think, is in for a rough time. I think USC is overhyped. Whether, Miller Moss wins the starting job or not after one performance against Louisville, I know they took strides. I know they hired Matt Entz, who was North Dakota State's head coach, as their linebackers coach. But man, Strick, they feel just too hyped for me coming into the Big Ten.
Yeah.
There's no way they're going to be able to adjust that quickly and be that successful if the mindset, the attitude, and the approach are still what they were in the Pac-12. I think USC is in for a rude awakening. I'm not shocked if they're out of the top 25 again.
Woo. You heard it here, right here on the block. On the text line before we go to a break, a couple of you guys chimed in. Thank you guys for joining into the conversation there. 402-464-5685. Unnamed texter 4424 says, I think when we're talking about the Nebraska coming in 7-0, he says, I think Lincoln has been ready to explode since the 01-02 season and the Solich departure. Football is king, and when it's rolling, we're all rolling. GBR. Very good there. Unnamed texter 9798 says, how high will Nebraska be ranked if they go 7-0 before OSU? Talk to me.
Let's answer that question after break. How about that? Let's talk through it. How high could Nebraska get ranked? Nebraska started 7-0 in 2016. How high did they get then? Could they get higher? I think that's.
I think they got the 7 then, wasn't it?
They did.
Yeah.
Do they get there again? We'll talk about it on the other side.
Several irrigation contractors in Lincoln go out of business every year, leaving sprinkler system orphans begging for service. The folks at Judson Irrigation shed a tear for these little fellas. They've been coddling these orphans for more than 40 years. From redesign, repairing, replacing, and restoring, remember the Judson Irrigation Orphanage.
Call the Judson Irrigation Orphanage 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
This is Lancaster County Attorney Pat Condon reminding you to vote for my friend and colleague Carolyn Bozin. Carolyn Bozin is a strong voice for Lincoln who we need representing us in the legislature. Carolyn Bozin voted for historic funding for education to support our schools and for the largest property tax relief package in Nebraska history. Carolyn Bozin is the voice we need representing us in the legislature. This is Lancaster County Attorney Pat Condon. Join me in supporting Carolyn Bozin for legislature on May 14th.
Paid for by Bozin for legislature.
Hey there, fellas. It's your girl Jordan with Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Women may be complicated, but I make sure buying jewelry isn't. Your gal has a style, and you can figure this out. Is she more of a classic necklace kind of gal, or does she rock the boho chic vibe with layers of delicate bracelets? This is crucial intel. Not trusting your intel? Stop in the store and we'll sort out the details. I promise to make this super easy. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
Celebrate the moms or special women in your life with the perfect gift from Riddles Jewelry. Save up to 30% on our sparkling selection of diamond, gemstone, and gold jewelry. Riddles makes gift giving easy. Find the perfect pair of matching items totaling $500 or more, and you'll receive a free jewelry case as our gift to you. Riddles Jewelry, for life's special moments since 1959.
Located inside Gateway Mall.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com. Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with laborers starting at $23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for laborers, mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Although we can't control the air we breathe outside our home, we can make a healthy difference inside, and all it takes is a call to Bryant. With healthy air options, Bryant can help you eliminate allergens, odors, and harmful chemicals, all while controlling indoor humidity levels at the same time. If it's time for a breath of fresh air inside, it's time to call Bryant. Breathe easy, breathe healthy. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. 467-1111. We do whatever it takes.
This is area race announcer James Rowland. Join me and Bree Fansteel every Sunday night from 7 to 8 on 93.7 The Ticket for the Finish Line, where we cover all things motorsports from local racing to racing around the world. Every Sunday night from 7 to 8 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you looking to get into the electrical construction industry or wanting a new scene? The electrical workers of local union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Spring often marks the beginning of severe weather, which can lead to power outages. LES wants you to be prepared before the storm. Restock your emergency kit, update your info with LES, and if you encounter an outage, report it at les.com/report.
On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Hey, he looked as advertised. He looked really good in the spring game. And because of that, we're going back to a bowl game this year, is what Husker fans are telling them. So I think the fans have a more realistic perspective, and I think this coaching staff has done a really good job of handling Dylan Raiola and the expectations around him.
Weekdays from 2 to 4 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back on the block. Austin Norman, Erick Strickland with you. Let's go to the text line here. Something really cool just came across here. Huskers P, granddaughter just born. She's on the block.
Woo! Yeah.
How about that?
Shout out Husker P. Congratulations, man, for being a grandpapa. Is it grandpapa?
I assume so.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, man.
Are you
She's
listening
definitely
on the
on
app?
the block.
If you're listening on the app, fire it up in the hospital room.
Yeah.
Get it going.
Yeah.
Introduce her right away.
Let her hear the voices of the blockheads just in effect.
How about it?
That's beautiful. Shout out real quick to unnamed texter 4424. He says, love you guys' show. To all you former players on the show and the station, thank you for all of the memories these are the things we pass down to our children. Thanks for putting on such a great show every day. We're definitely appreciative to you and you continuously listening to us. We don't take it lightly. We really don't. We know that you guys could be doing anything. You can be applying your time anywhere. And the fact because we're so appreciative is why we want to give you more. And we try to do our best to make sure we provide good content to you when you do chime in, and we appreciate the engagement.
We sure do. Part of that was 97-98 asking, how high will Nebraska be ranked if they get to 7-0 before Ohio State? You called it, Strick. Nebraska got to 7-0, ranked number 7 in the country back in 2016, went on the road to Wisconsin, just needed a first down to ice it after a couple late interceptions, wasn't able to do it, lost in overtime, came back, and got blitzed, blasted, destroyed by Ohio State. You got a comment from Justin up there on the screen? What did Justin on YouTube have to say?
Justin Rogge, I hope I'm saying that right, threw it out. He said, I'd say that if they came up with a 7-0 start into, the Ohio State game, they'd be ranked 10th in the nation, and the TV networks would absolutely love an Ohio State, Nebraska, just the watchers. See, a lot of people don't know the full scope of Nebraska's reach as far as fan base. I wish, if you were a part of the Ireland crew, shout me with a thumbs up on the text line, because if you were, you would understand how much Nebraska fans are everywhere. And I tell this story all the time. Some of you heard it, some of you don't. We've got great listeners on today, some probably new. But when we played in New York, this is basketball though, ladies and gentlemen. This is basketball. Like, we all know that Nebraska football is king. But and volleyball is queen. But boy, oh boy, when we played in the Madison Square Garden, and I'm telling you, St. Joseph is in Philly. We talk about the matchup that's going on between, when it's New York and Philly. How that rivalry is real and dear. They could ride right up the street. We had more red in there than anybody. Now, you didn't make it with me.
I did not.
It was me and
Nate.
No. It was Jake Snake.
Oh yeah.
It's me and Jake Snake.
Right.
Down in
Memphis.
Down in Memphis.
Yeah.
Listen, y'all. If you didn't make it to Memphis, let me tell you, it was a sea of red in Memphis. Now, understand, we're farther from Memphis than freaking Texas A&M to get to Memphis.
Yeah.
It's farther for us. It was bad storms. Flights were canceled. But when I tell you, the freaking building was a sea red. Walking into the building, Austin, they was outside. They freaking took over the outside, chanting, "Go Big." It was freaking a takeover of Beale Street. So I don't know if you guys would understand what that would look like. A top 10 matchup going into Ohio State. But boy, would the eyes be on Nebraska if they left out of there with a win. So how high can you go? Can you go up high? Can you go up high? How high can you go? How high can you go?
Anti-limbo.
Like if they're 10 going in, Ohio State's still number 1. What do they leave out after that? What say you?
I'm just going to go with the Joel Klatt post-spring top 25 here, who I think Nebraska could jump. Arizona lost its coach. There's a lot going on there.
This is 7-0. This is a 7-0 Nebraska. Okay, talk to me.
Okay, Kansas State, I think, is going to be pretty darn solid. Don't know what the ceiling is, but I think that's an 8-win team at least, probably 9, maybe 10.
For sure.
So they'll keep moving up. I'm in on Oklahoma State this year. I am dangerously in on Oklahoma State this year.
Out on Tennessee?
We'll see.
Okay.
Out on Miami.
Out on Miami. They can't even kneel.
Sneaky in on Oklahoma.
Mm.
They
He's
have
gonna
the
get it
SEC
right?
question to answer, but there's a lot of talent there. Jackson Arnold did not look good in the bowl game. How does he look with the full offseason as starter? We'll see. But I'm sneaky in on Oklahoma and Oklahoma State both. Tennessee, we'll see. Yamaleva shredded Iowa.
Yeah. Are they just so high on Oregon because of Dylan Gabriel
And Lanning. And they, I think
because I think that's a huge jump to come into the conference, but I can see them being number 2, especially with Michigan. A lot of instability with Michigan at this point.
And Penn State hasn't proven it.
Yeah, they haven't proven it, so I get it.
Mm-hmm.
But stylistically, is it? Do you know? I don't know. We'll see. I'd like to check their schedule too. Go ahead.
Yeah, Oregon does have it decently tough, but I still like the Ducks. I think Lanning has enough of that SEC mindset and mentality. He'll be okay. That team will be okay in the Big Ten.
So 7-0 right now. You've got them at about 14.
Give
15.
or take. Yeah,
Okay.
because USC I'm out on. LSU probably falls back a few spots. They might be higher this early in the season, but then I think LSU starts fading late. Clemson, we'll see. They're probably about right, but all defense maybe slightly lower.
Yeah.
Florida State, no idea. Notre Dame will rise. Missouri, maybe drop a little bit. Penn State, I think, rises. Michigan falls. Alabama falls. Utah falls.
I still think Ole Miss falls to the middle of the pack minimum.
That's fair. By week 7, I don't know, but by the end of the year.
Yeah, by the end of the year. I just don't know if they're able to break through. I don't think they can beat a Texas. I don't think they can beat a Georgia. I don't think. Now, see, I think they've got a chance to clip in Alabama.
They do.
Yeah. So they may hang around in the top 10
Top
potentially.
10?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They may hang around.
But if Nebraska beats Ohio State,
Oh, yeah. Now we're
and they're
talking.
8-0,
And they're number 1 still.
oh boy.
Boy.
Because you have Ohio State, then you have UCLA, USC, Wisconsin, and Iowa left on the schedule.
They're not going to be believers.
They will
so
not.
I don't say they put them in the top 5.
No.
I think they put them in the upper tier about 9. But what if they run it off going into the first college football playoff? That would be crazy. That would be crazy. If they were able to pull that off in the first year of the college football playoff, Nebraska fans would lose their mind.
Mm-hmm. Well, imagine if Nebraska went 9-3 last year. Imagine if Nebraska went 8-4 last year. Where would Nebraska start this year ranked?
Mm-hmm.
That's another question. Al says if the Huskers start 7-0, if defense is in the top 10 and the offense is balanced, Nebraska should be ranked number 12. Fair. That's probably about the range we're looking at there.
Yeah.
And 0177
I
says
see you.
Utah winning the Big 12.
Whoa. Just throwing it out there. I think my top. I want to throw. Honestly, I want to throw K-State in there. I think they're going to be pretty solid.
To me, it's K-State, Oklahoma State, then Utah.
Yeah, that's where I would go to.
Utah's got the best quarterback of that bunch, though.
And they're just
probably
so
the best
physical.
coach.
So physical, too.
Those are 3 really good coaches.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible. They kind of let me down last year, though. But I understand, missing a quarterback of that quality.
They let you down? I picked them to the college football playoff.
Yeah.
They let me down.
Well, they let you down big time.
They did.
What else?
Anything
else?
Kansas at 23 is interesting to me. We skipped over them in the Big 12.
Bama fan in Lincoln has me crying over here. Put down the bottle, Strick. Got to make it past game 1 first. Listen, I mean, again, you're absolutely right. And I told you, I'm not drinking Kool-Aid. I'm not. I'm just saying what Joe Klatt has put out and thinking just in the midst of it, because I'm one to reminisce and know what campus was like. And so I'm just throwing it out to say, what would it be like if Nebraska's able to pull something off like that? I mean, and again, I just wanted to hear from you. Like, how would you feel? You know what I mean? Because I can tell you this. A lot of you guys in here were killing Stricky. Oh, put the bottle down, Stricky. Nebraska basketball is horrible. They're going to be garbage, and now they're in the NCAA playoff. I mean, in the tournament. All I did was come in here, just like I'm doing right now. This isn't my tweet. I didn't tweet that.
No.
But what I'm saying is, I sat down in here just like I'm doing right now, and all I did was put out hypotheticals. We looked at the schedule, and I said, they're better. I've seen them. This is not the same team. There's things they do. And you guys laughed me off and texted me off the freaking screen. And guess what? Who was right or wrong? Thank you.
That man's tricky.
And look, I'm not saying nothing. I may be on the bottle. I'm on good meal coffee. It's definitely perking me up. But again, that's not my tweet. I'm just loving what it could be like if that happened. Because I was on campus when it was popping. I was here in the middle of popping. So anyway, start out.
Vince Watson on YouTube. Not worried about 7-0, just want 1-0 and then to not lay an egg against Colorado.
Love it.
Sure. Yep. And how about this? Tomorrow, Heavenly Waffles. 8 to 11 tomorrow morning. If you have breakfast plans, cancel them. If you don't have breakfast plans, guess what?
Come in.
Now you do.
You'll be
You know what's on the menu?
What do you got?
Chicken and waffles.
Oh, shoot. Yeah. Listen, you would not regret making the stop.
No.
I'm telling you. Austin, when Bob and the Heavenly Waffles crew come through, and sometimes they'll put combinations together, and I'm looking at it like, how is that going to work? This spicy or this, this combination. I mean, I can't even tell you because I'm looking at it sometimes like, no, don't put that. Just give me the waffle. But then I let him because I know that they're so good at what they do and putting it together. And I always leave satisfied.
Every time?
All the time.
8 to 11 tomorrow, Wednesday the 8th. Chicken and Heavenly Waffles, protein bites as well. And hey, coffee from the mill, right? You can double dip. Make one stop, you get 2 of your favorites. One of our favorites, Jay Foreman, on the other side of the plexiglass. We'll take a break. Cross over with Old School next. Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for ready-mixed concrete, Husker concrete, and Beatrice concrete. Nebco offers great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they pay for CDL training. Apply today and start your new career with a $2,500 hiring bonus. From Nebco's beginning in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
Hi, I'm Senator Bo Ballard. I was born and raised in Lancaster County, learning the value of hard work and grit at a young age. I built my own company, creating jobs right here in our community. I know that families and businesses in our community need lower taxes, lower cost of healthcare, and a great education. That's why, as your senator, I helped pass the largest tax cut and made the most significant investment in education in Nebraska history and worked to reduce the cost of healthcare. I'm Senator Bo Ballard, and I humbly ask for your vote on May 14th. Paid for by Ballard for Nebraska.
Garage doors can be expensive. Are you keeping yours in the best condition possible? This is Cameron Hall with Doors Plus. Doors Plus is a locally owned business that prides itself on the fast, reliable, and friendly service. Doors Plus offers flexible scheduling so you can book an appointment that fits your busy day. My team and I will come out to your property, both commercial and residential, and provide you with the necessary information you need to make sure your garage door is in working and smooth condition. Give Doors Plus a call today at 402-590-5800 to book an appointment and learn more about our preventative maintenance plans. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
Far too many kids in our community face extreme challenges due to homelessness, abuse, and neglect. Despite the troubles these kids face, we believe in them.
believe in giving them the safety and stability they deserve. Your gift on Give to Lincoln Day will help us provide services to meet kids where they're at, while also showing them how far they can go. Please make your gift to Cedars on Give to Lincoln Day.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza. The big one. All the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend.
Load up on meat and more this spring at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's special through May 7th is buy one, get one free on New York strips, limit 4 per visit. Also $1 off all brands of honey. And don't forget about lunch on Fired Up Friday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Locations at 84th and Havelock and 30th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Hey, baseball fans, join the Blur Tailgate at Hilton Omaha this June for our 12th annual hospitality event during the College Baseball Championship Series. Book an experience for your clients or employees with an inclusive bar, buffet, TVs, music, and tailgate games. Secure your spot today and let Blur Events take care of all the work so you can enjoy the day. Plus, we're just steps away from Charles Schwab Field. Visit blurevents.com to book your group, buy tickets, or learn about sponsorships. That's blurevents.com, your college baseball and football tailgate destination.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, some spotty showers possible. Otherwise, mainly sunny and breezy. The high around 74. Tonight, a chance of showers rolls in. See a low around 49. And tomorrow, we'll see mainly sunny skies return. Another slight chance in the evening. See a high around 72. I'm meteorologist Kyle Clucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Erick Services takes this time to wish all the moms out there a happy Mother's Day. They hope that everyone is able to show how much they care for and respect the moms in their life for this weekend especially, but in everyday life too. This important message comes to you from Bart and the folks at Erick Services, your vending specialists here in Lincoln. Their quality service and expertise has earned them a fine reputation. That's Erick Services, on the air because they care.
Sandhills Global is hiring. With their fast-paced, growing culture, they have hundreds of new openings in sales, marketing, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Full-time roles offer a 4.5-day work week, along with flexible internships in most areas. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Find your fit today at www.sandhills.jobs.
Spring often marks the beginning of severe weather, which can lead to power outages. LES wants you to be prepared before the storm. Restock your emergency kit, update your info with LES, and if you encounter an outage, report it at les.com/report.
Old School with DP and J.
Very small percentage of players, coaches, administrators thinking like, I'm planting my flag here. Nick Saban's run probably won't happen. It takes a very unique person and personality to be comfortable where you are, be strong enough to push to get what you need, and then also be very strong enough in a player's standpoint to advocate for yourself at the right time.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Strick and Austin and Jay Foreman join us for the crossover. Welcome in, Jay.
What's popping?
Lot. Been a good day here on the show. The news we led the show with, I think, is perfect to end the show with as well. Monty Harrison, one-time Nebraska football commit, 4-star receiver at Elite Summit in Missouri in 2014.
Yeah,
never showed up at Nebraska. Got drafted in the second round to play Major League Baseball. Had a cup of coffee there. Only hit, 178, I think we decided. Not very good. He's coming back to college as a walk-on for Arkansas football. He'll be 29 by the time the season starts. He's walking on.
Yeah, he tripping. But he tripping, man. I mean, if he was like 24, it wouldn't be a big deal because I think his last name is Akins or something like that. He was actually down in Central Florida when Scott Frost was there. Was never made it to the majors. He went through the double AAA, didn't make it. He was a tight end. He was number 88. Got drafted actually by the Texans, and he's their number 2, behind Schultz, and he's a pretty dang good tight end.
I was thinking Brandon Whedon at Oklahoma State.
Yeah, that's good. But he got drafted at 28, right?
Who did?
Brandon Whedon.
Into the NFL.
Yeah.
So he played minor league baseball,
Yeah.
never made it, quit, came to Oklahoma State, and then got drafted.
Yeah, got
by the
drafted,
Browns.
and he was significantly older. He might have been 26. Listen, if Harrison is healthy and he has the same athletic ability that he had in high school,
Probably more at 29.
Yeah, he might be a one and done. I mean, chance of it working out, but
is it age? Is it an age thing?
He just ain't done it in that long.
No, I'm
The
saying,
10 years.
is it an age thing? When you say one and done, you mean one and moving to the next level?
Why would you?
Right. No, I'm just.
Yeah.
Is that
He's
what you mean?
If that's his goal.
So it's an age thing.
For the
Because-
NFL draft.
For the NFL draft. or
You
even
only have
as-
to play 3 years if you're coming from high school.
You got to be out of high school for 3 years.
Okay.
So he's
That's
been
what-
gone.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
for him, probably trying to get his game back right, and I'm assuming that's what he's trying to do. I mean, I
He's
doubt
going to
that
be a free agent. Nobody's going to draft him with
exactly, but to really have a legit chance, 2 years at max, he could probably go to CFL and get jiggy with it. Remember Brian Banks? Remember he was falsely accused of
big
sexual-
fella at Baylor, right? Was it Baylor?
No, he was USC. The number one linebacker coming out was falsely accused. It's a crazy story. Falsely accused of sexual assault. The woman got paid, lied about it. He missed his whole college career.
Yeah.
He ended up, I think he might work for NFL now or something like that, but he just trained, didn't get drafted, made it through training camp. And I want to say he was on practice squad for a year or two, but then COVID hit and then they kind of trimmed down the rosters. I think that might be something like that. But Harrison coming out of high school, man, he was the truth.
He was like that.
He was like that.
The guy I thought was going to be legit for Nebraska was Bubba Starling. Quarterback
Yeah.
recruit around that same time, actually.
Yeah.
Baseball is probably his worst sport. That's what he decided to do.
But wasn't he a first round pick?
Yeah, he was, I think 5th or
Yeah.
6th overall by the Royals.
You got it.
Hometown
You
team.
got to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
'Cause
see,
they
unless
overpay-
you're Kyler Murray, where you have an option to be a top draft pick, and you're a first rounder in baseball too.
Yeah. You can play
you
both
got
sides.
options.
Yeah, you got options. I think the baseball money is longer.
I just think it just takes longer to get there. That's the
because
thing.
you could hit the lick in baseball and you hit a $300 million contract. That's guaranteed.
Mhm.
You could get a $300 million contract in the NFL and only play 2 years.
That's a fact.
So
It's
then I
right now
wonder-
gratification as opposed
Short
because you got to
term.
go through it doesn't matter who you are. You going through the minors. Like
Right.
you're not going
Straight
in and
yeah,
going straight
yeah.
in. Yeah, that ain't working.
And then you wonder,
You're gonna
like,
play at least
you
double
wonder-
A.
You wonder
Riding
how
the buses.
really,
Yes, sir.
really
Long trip.
how good he really was at baseball.
Kyler.
Were you really legit?
Yeah.
Because this is what I do know in baseball. When they draft guys out of high school, they're overpaying you because that you're not going to college, and if you have another sport, they're hedging their bets. And so they're
What you trying to
overpaying.
say?
Kyler was taken 9th.
Oh, I'm not saying
What you
anything.
trying to say?
I'm just talking about how to.
You talking about Stricky, huh? Mm-hmm. You trying to
No,
basically
but since you raised your hand again, I don't understand you what you do. I'm talking in general. You bring yourself into conversation. You like my aunt Lulu, man.
So Kyler Murray went 1-1 in the NFL draft. He also went 9th overall in the MLB draft.
That's good. That's good numbers. That's good money.
Yeah.
That's
But
good
it
money.
would have took him longer to get a second contract in
Exactly.
baseball and than
Facts.
football. And plus, when
Yeah,
you
you don't know. You got to determine
$4.66
who.
million signing bonus.
You got to
for MLB.
determine who's up there too, because, like, for example, if you were in the Yankees organization,
you ain't never.
and you're not
getting
getting past Jeter.
Yeah.
If you're a shortstop,
Right.
so
Yeah, you better hope you have a good AAA All-Star game and they trade you.
right.
They trade you for John Carlos Stanton. That's a big dude, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, I met him. I didn't know baseball players grew that big.
Well, him and Judge in the same outfield.
Yeah,
the same
Judge
size.
is 6'8". You already know that. He don't even look real.
No, he's playing center.
Yeah, but when I was in Houston, Jeff Bagwell came. I called him Buff Bagwell because
he's a big cock diesel, strong.
but he's short though.
Yeah.
He's like this tall.
Yeah.
But on TV, I was like, oh man, he's 6. I thought he was like 6'2", 6'3", and he had his, uniform all tight and he had arms and stuff. So I
Right.
thought he was big, he walked into practice. I was like, look at this little dude. Now he could hit, and you could tell he'd been in the weight room and all that other stuff. And then Craig Biggio came. He looked like an accountant.
And then my favorite, Lance Berkman. Crazy eyes, crazy hair.
Yeah. And he looked like he just living a frat party and just been drinking beer. He'd a keg. All of them great dudes, though.
Yeah.
All of them great dudes, man. But
Roy Oswalt?
He came through. He's tiny, too. What's the
Bradley?
No, Wagner, the lefty.
Billy Wagner. Yep.
He's tiny, but man, because he was like 5'9", 5'10", but he could throw 100. So I mean, it's man, athletes come in all shapes and form and sizes. And look, when you play that position of wide receiver, like Harrison is probably oversaturated now. Everybody's a wide receiver, makes it a little bit harder. But I'm gonna tell you what, I
would go play hybrid tight end.
Yeah, he's not big enough, but he can play though. I mean, at least in high school he could play. Now it's going to be a tall task for him, but why not? He probably made enough money to do it, and if he wants to, pay for his, get his education and all that, you got to respect it because you just never know. I mean, if he does something there, I'm telling you, it's a Netflix show.
Oh yeah,
it's a Netflix. It's a movie, but I'm assuming he's healthy. And homeboy could get down like Charlie Brown when he played receiver, though. Man. I mean, like everybody in high school, as you're seeing now with a lot of recruiting going on. But he's definitely was legit. Like, no, he wasn't fictitious 4-star. I always say there's real 4 and 5 stars, and there's the fake ones.
Right. What does the fake ones look like?
Ones that are probably either solely based on potential or size. Okay. Versus a guy that's, he's mature enough. His game is good. His mindset is good. And it's just
he just hasn't been to camp, so he's only
and he just boils over into what you see, early in camp. And, he's big enough. He has the measurables and all that stuff. Those are legit. I always feel like there's different variants. It's probably a high 3-star, right? And a high 3-star is actually probably a 4-star, but, you see a lot of this in the combine where guys, especially when I was coming out, they wanted like big old linebackers,
right? With the big old shoulder
pads. So there, here's the funny thing. I'm measuring at 6'2". There was a guy from Iowa that was 6'3" and like 5'8", and so he went to the Senior Bowl based on he was a inch and a half taller than me, and I only got to go to the East-West. He ends up going undrafted, never even saw the NFL. I get drafted late, and end up playing 9 years, but it was all based, when I talked to the dude, it was based on that, right? And that's where the pre-draft stuff was. And I thought, my agent was like, hey, look, his dad won the MVP there, at the Senior Bowl. Back then they gave him a car. My dad, he was just going on he went to everything. And, but that's the difference between, you could have a 3-star and say he's a 5'11" receiver, got that dog in him, and say he's a good basketball player so he can track the ball and he's physical. So 50-50 balls are his, right? And he's excellent in and out of his breaks. He's a high 3-star, should probably be a mid 4-star. But
his measurables is what?
That 5'11" don't mean nothing.
It, right.
That's why you have like a guy like Dale Green, or you could have a corner that's really good like like Marcus Peters. Now he's a gambler that was a corner, but he's not tall like Jalen Ramsey, right?
Right.
So if you have corners that have superior technique and good patience and good hands and all that, the measurables are out of there. And that's why you see those guys maybe aren't the fastest. Then you got a guy that can really run, that can't cover a lick. Or
you got John Ross, who really can't run. He's just
he can't run routes, right?
Right.
So but then I would always ask people you do need speed, right? You need to be fast enough. And the separator could be speed. The guys that are fast can run, they still run routes fast, are the guys that like Andre Johnson. Hey, my man is a locomotive, and he came
physical.
But he came out of his break so clean, he was smooth. Whereas John Ross, I would ask the Cincinnati Bengals, let's just take the last 10 years. How many times has somebody just
come on
without going against Jay Foreman as a corner that you just took off and just blew right past him? Rarely. Or he cornered, a bust or something like. So that's not going to happen. That's not, over time is not worth the return or the investment. But look, man, you get a guy that can run like 4.2 and stuff like it's hard to pass that up.
Same thing like with Kadarius Toney.
Yeah,
just good speed, but look good at times. Some stuff at New York,
consistency isn't there.
Yeah, no consistency.
If you got to be able to run routes, you got to be able to. I always view Strick. I always try to give you an analogy of basketball. People that can run routes are the equivalent of like a Larry Bird or Luka that have superior footwork when they're trying to get their shot off. Like, oh yeah, he's fast or he's quick. He's not the quickest, but somehow we can't stop him, right? Because he knows where he's going and he's getting there without any deficiencies in his footwork in your case, or getting into a shot, he's in the pocket, or he's able to shoot. He has a high release,
like Ant-Man doing right now.
Right, just a little thing that Ant-Man did the other night, right, or last night. He came fast. He rushed him, what I call a rush, slowed it down, drew the contact. I call it a power dribble when you get it quick into your shot, in your shot.
Pound dribble.
You're a pound dribble.
Mm-hmm.
Got it and one.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Caldwell Pope was hot. You just got pimped. He okie doked you right there. That's it, right?
He gave you the
fight
the bait.
Yeah, yo-yo, and you did it right.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's no different than in football, and that's what Harrison's gonna. Those are athletically, I think Harrison would be fine. If he went because he's a great athlete
and he's in his athletic prime, right?
But those things that we just talked about, route running, learning how to play, leverage, and all that, you just hadn't done that in 10 years.
Yeah, bro.
It's
an acquired technique, and guys are getting better.
And you got to do
reading.
it, and it's changed.
Yeah, it's changed,
right?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
The day. Yes, the mid-range games, the one dribble and pull up, that's going to stand the test of time. But how you get to that has changed from when you were in the NBA or 10 years.
We didn't have Eurostep. Eurostep was being called
travels, right? And so, you didn't have the double step back like James
Manu
Harden.
Ginobili used to get away with it though.
But
and he's even South American, not even European.
But they didn't even have. But Strick back then, they didn't have the double step back like the James Harden.
Yeah.
He would do, you know what I mean, and all that. They didn't have the dribble low up through the contact. Those are the things.
They didn't have the 50 step shuffle on a catch in the post where you didn't.
Let me get my feet right.
You didn't did the
merengue.
Baila,
it's the merengue.
Baila conmigo. Baila.
Okay, just go ahead with it.
I'm just
go
saying.
ahead. You feeling
know
it,
what
though.
they was doing,
Yeah.
man? It's crazy the stuff they be getting away with.
They're doing the cha-cha slide before they get into their basketball moves. And that's the same thing in football. You got to be able to.
Why is it that teams like Kansas City benefit from like holdings more than
you mean the
like
offensive line?
The Kansas City's like the Lakers of
Kansas City had their right tackle getting whistled for false starts all season.
Yeah, but they see that they know in the playoffs you're not going to do that because you only got this only game on there. They know the refs don't. If the refs keep calling that, they know you ain't. That's his paycheck. They ain't stupid. And it's erroneous holds too. Like in the Super Bowl where they tackle. They play the game willing to bet that you're not going to call it more than once, and you're not going to call it in a crucial situation. So why not make them make the call? I'll hold strict and make them make a call.
Facts.
Fair. Hopefully you're holding your attention here during On the Block. Appreciate y'all for the last couple hours. Old school. Coming up next, I'm sure we'll talk some Huskers, some Top 25, some Ant-Man.
Yeah, Ant-Man for sure. Brunson, Knicks, and my man Joel Klatt.
There we go. That's old school. What's Tricky pointing at? Tune into the stream, you'll see. Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with laborers starting at $23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate